Look out, Cale. Objects in the rearview mirror are closer than they appear. Because for the majority of this NHL season thus far, there has been one name that has been atop the Norris conversation. Ever since the Colorado Avalanche got started out with the year that they are currently exhibiting, you have seen extravagant, dominant, overbearing point production from guys like Nathan MacKinnon, Marty Necas, and Cale Makar. Heck, the Avalanche are so good that you started seeing other names that you didn't really see too much go out there and have multi-point, multi-goal, multi-whatever games. Who knew Parker Kelly was that good? Victor Olofsson popped off for a 5-point game earlier this season. You got Gavin Brindley, who just signed a contract after getting placed in a higher spot in the lineup, and he's doing well now too. And don't even get me started on Arturi Lehkonen. The Colorado Avalanche are led by 3 guys in Necas, Makar, and MacKinnon that are so damn good that they can make everybody else around them better. And because Cale Makar got off to such a hot start in the NHL's point race, he was essentially the main Norris candidate since the beginning. He's at 25 points in 19 games right now, #1 defenseman in the NHL in overall production, and that's not surprising. He started the year out hot, he has been hot the entire way through, and look, if there's anybody that's going to go out there and win a Norris on any given year, Cale Makar is a pretty close bet. But here's the thing. Objects in the rearview mirror are closer than they appear. Because if we take a look at the NHL's defenseman point scoring, this is what the chart looks like now. Because Quinn Hughes is 2nd overall. He has 20 points this season, and he has done so in 16 games. Here's the thing about Quinn Hughes, though. It was just last week we were making videos about Quinn Hughes not being that good. We made a bunch of commentaries. We said, hey, Quinn Hughes has a problem. Quinn Hughes is not dominating the game like we know he is capable of doing. We started asking whether or not Quinn Hughes was checked out, whether he really wants to go to New Jersey at this point. And here's the thing. Quinn Hughes may be in a spot where he actually does want to go to New Jersey. Maybe that is unchanged. The Vancouver Canucks, they lose games, they win games. Who cares? Quinn's going to Jersey at some point. Maybe that's the truth. But the difference between back then and now is now Quinn Hughes is producing like an absolute maniac. He's 2nd in the NHL defenseman scoring race with 20 points, but he has scored 10 points in his last 3 games. Now granted, Quinn Hughes' last 3 games are not the Vancouver Canucks' last 3 games. Hughes got hurt in the game against Winnipeg in a little scuffle with Mark Scheifele. He left the game, he came back. People say, oh, he dislocated his shoulder and they popped it back in and then he went out there and played again. Maybe that's the truth. And he scored 3 points in that game. So, nice. But despite that, that doesn't change the fact that Quinn ended up missing Vancouver's next game against the Carolina Hurricanes, the first game of their Eastern road swing. But Quinn then returns after Vancouver loses in overtime to Carolina to face off against the Tampa Bay Lightning. And Vancouver, against all odds, they pull off an incredible 3-minute comeback. That's all they needed to get the win. And in the midst of this victory against Tampa Bay, Quinn Hughes gets 4 assists. And then yesterday, Vancouver versus Florida, second half of a back-to-back. Vancouver loses 8-5. Jiri Patera's in net. Who cares? They were 500 on the road trip. And Quinn Hughes got 3 points. Oh my goodness. This guy. What an absolute demon this guy is out there on the ice. 10 points in his last 3 games, and if you look at the current point streak that he has got, Quinn Hughes has 13 points in his last 6 games, which is a lot more projectable. Like, obviously, you can't expect a guy to continuously score 3 points a night. But hey, if there's anybody that's going to wake up and just decide to do that, it's Quinn Hughes. He's on pace for 96 points on the year now, after the explosion of offense propelled him to number 2 in NHL D-man scoring. He was well below the rate of expectation at the beginning and middle parts of the year. Quinn Hughes had 1 point in his first 3 games of the season this year. That is so unlike Quinn Hughes to have not just 1, but 2 pointless games after he supposedly fully rested and good to go. It's like Quinn Hughes was in another universe to open up the year. Yes, of course, he was good. He was still controlling the play. He was still making things happen offensively with the chances and otherwise. And he was still territorially, possession-wise, dominating the game. But he was not activating, nor was he really converting as well as we expect Quinn Hughes to. There were a number of things that I think a lot of Canucks fans brought up over the course of the opening parts of the season. You had Quinn Hughes trying to maybe do everything himself, Quinn Hughes getting a little too predictable, Quinn Hughes refusing to pass to open teammates and instead trying to take long shots himself because maybe there's some lack of confidence in his teammates or whatever you might want to say. Does that mean Quinn Hughes is checked out? Does that mean that Quinn is already thinking about leaving? Does that mean he's just thinking about New Jersey? Does that mean that he doesn't believe in the team that he's with if he's refusing to pass to them? Well, no harm, no foul at this point, because Quinn Hughes has decided to start using his teammates more, and they're converting from these chances. Quinn Hughes is now all of a sudden deceptively activating in a way that allows the rest of the Canucks offense to flourish in front of his eyes. Even in the game that he wasn't playing against Carolina, Vancouver still had a pretty decent lead. They still had some offense going. They were still able to score goals. Vancouver is getting into a pretty careless mode of hockey right now, where goals are just going in left, right, and center. I mean, 13 goals in the Florida game, 8 goals in the Tampa Bay game, 8 goals against Winnipeg. Vancouver Canucks hockey certainly doesn't lack any goal support right now, and Quinn Hughes is finding ways to get points on most of Vancouver's tallies. There also was the argument going around of Quinn Hughes admitting into the media that he didn't maybe try so hard in training this summer compared to previous seasons because he knows what his body responds to and he knows the expectations of an NHL grind. And there was some debate that people brought up saying, hey, because Quinn Hughes didn't work as hard in the summer, that's why he doesn't look all too great to start out the year. That's why his decision-making is a little off. It's a little predictable. It's a little repetitive. It's a little easy to shut down. And it's why Quinn fell so far in the Norris voting race, because he was so far down in the points race. Let's face it, it's hard to win the Norris if you're a pure defensive defenseman. It never happens like that. You have to be at least one of the top 3, if not 5, point-producing guys. Maybe if you get hurt at the end of the season, if you're one of the top 3 point per game guys, then you'll also be in that Norris conversation, like Quinn Hughes was last year. But ultimately, Vancouver is getting just so much better defending and offensive activation out of one of the best players on the planet, as Quinn Hughes has now gone out there and activated parts of his game that we just were waiting for him to turn on. Cale Makar, look out. Quinn Hughes is right on your tail. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like button. Dislikes are also appreciated. If you did not like this video, comments also help out with the algorithm, so I'd appreciate it if you got involved there. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts about Quinn Hughes and the like. So that I shall sign on. And bye.